Hi, this is JerriMcCombs with Dogwood Real Estate Services, and I just wanted to share some fun facts about Western North Carolina. Let's start with one of the most bizarre, liver mush. Yes, North Carolina is known for its barbecue and brews, but did you know there's a unique food that you can only find here in Western North Carolina that's just as iconic? We're talking about liver mush, the blue-collar breakfast food. Liver mush is a southern pork food product prepared using pig liver parts, parts of pigs' heads, cornmeal, and spices. It's a regional cuisine that is common in Western North Carolina, and it's typically consumed as a breakfast and lunch food. So far, I haven't had the opportunity to partake. Topic. Barbecue is a hot topic here. Do you like it sweet, or do you like it on the vinegar side? We have both. Always ask. Barbecue seems more like a sport. There are contests every summer as well as festivals, and it's a big deal. With such hot competition, we do have some of the best barbecue eateries around. The state dog is the Plott Hound. Back in the mid-late 1800s, people from as far away as Georgia traveled regularly to Henderson County to get puppies from the Plott family. They would arrive with sacks on the back of their mules and horses to carry home the prized dogs. The Plotts raised hard-working, tenacious, and loyal dogs that would hunt bear and wild boar with boundless courage. The dogs, once black, brown, or brindle, are now usually brindle, which is a mix of blacks, browns, and tans. They stand about 25 inches from the shoulder, weigh about 45 to 55 pounds, and they're strong and fast. The Plott Hound, as this kind of dog is known today, has a unique high-pitched bark that alerts hunters as it tracks its prey. The Plott Hound is the only officially recognized breed of dog developed in North Carolina. It's also one of only 4 breeds native to the United States. The state bird. North Carolina General Assembly of 1943 named the cardinal as the official state bird of North Carolina. There are certainly a lot of them here. My feeders are filled with them every summer, along with pine siskin, chickadees, goldfinch, and woodpeckers. Keep suet and birdseed out, and you'll see lots of birds. We also have our share of hummingbirds, so don't forget the sugar water. Just keep the feeders up high so the bears don't rob your feeders. Bears? Yep, you heard it right. Hendersonville has bears, and we're also plagued with raccoons, so the feeders need to be protected, as does trash. We usually see the bears in the summer when the wild raspberries are out and the blueberries. Since I have both in my yard, I get visits every year. They seem to have a path in my neighborhood, which I certainly didn't expect, being right here in town, but I'm surrounded by woods, and there is a large pond not too far away. It makes for a great place to survive midsummer for the bears. The state flower is the dogwood, and we see beautiful dogwood trees everywhere here in the spring. One of the first flowers we see. These are the wild dogwoods that are pretty bright white, and now hybrids that are white and pink. The Tar Heel state. Just what is a Tar Heel? It's hard to pin down. There are all kinds of stories about the Civil War and legends, but one thing is clear. The rivalry of the UNC Tar Heels and the Duke Devils is real. Get ready for a fun game when they play each other. First in flight. Orville and Wilbur Wright successfully flew the first self-propelled airplane near Kitty Hawk on the east coast of North Carolina on December 17, 1903. Each December, the Wright Brothers National Memorial celebrates their first flight with fun throughout the entire day. We celebrate first in flight every day with the Wright Brothers plane proudly displayed on our license plates. Farming. Our farmers produce the largest quantity of sweet potatoes in the nation. We're also the 3rd largest producer of strawberries. And Henderson County is 5th in the nation for apple production, and our grapes are creating a mecca for wine production here in Hendersonville. Fraser firs are known as the best, and they have been featured at the White House as the Christmas tree more than a dozen times. Music. We have an eclectic collection of musicians either born in or hailing from North Carolina, including Earl Scruggs, John Coltrane, Nina Simone, Doc Watson, Thelonious Monk, James Taylor, George Clinton, Tori Amos, Scott and Seth Avett, and Jane Cole. We also need to include Robert Moog, known for the namesake synthesizer. Moog spent many years living in Asheville, and his legacy remains with the Moogseum and Moog Factory, both in Asheville. Actors. We have actors and actresses from North Carolina, including Pam Grier, Andy Griffith, Soupy Sales, Ava Gardner, Julianne Moore, Evan Rachel Wood. We have authors from Western North Carolina, including Thomas Wolfe, Sarah Dessen, and William Sidney Poitier, all native North Carolinians. Nicholas Sparks, Maya Angelou, and David Sedaris all have spent or spend large portions of their lives in North Carolina. We also have our share of sports figures as well. Charlotte Smith, Steph Curry, James Worthy, Chris Paul, and Bob McAdoo are a few of the many talented basketball players from North Carolina. Moonshine in North Carolina. Of course, we couldn't talk moonshine without the man, the myth, and the legend, Marvin Popcorn Sutton. The most recognized modern moonshiner, good old hillbilly Popcorn Sutton, was born in Maggie Valley in 1949. He was known as the legend and lawbreaker. Sutton led a long career making moonshine and bootlegging. Sutton said he considered moonshine production a legitimate part of his heritage, as he was Scots-Irish American and descended from a long line of moonshiners. In the 1960s and 70s, Sutton was given the nickname of Popcorn after his frustrated attack on a Bard's faulty popcorn vending machine with a pool cue. Of course, Western North Carolina is most known for its mild weather, friendly people, and spectacular views, but you already knew that. Thanks for watching, and give me a call if you need any other information about our great area. Thank you.